right, ladies and gentlemen, Peyton Welch with Traffic and Funnels here with the one, the only, Daniel Grimmett.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. Dude, really actually just want to say appreciate your time. I know you're extremely busy with clients, and especially after the past month that you've had. So I thought it'd be useful. Hey, I'm just going to ask you a couple questions. We're just going to, give the world a little view into what your experience has been and what you're seeing in your business and all that growth. And we'll just dive right in. Sound good?
Would love to, man. Sounds great.
Dude, tell us a little bit, just for everyone that doesn't know the Daniel, tell us a little bit about yourself and your business.
Sure, absolutely. So I started as a music producer when I was a teenager, built a music production company, and then more recently got into consulting, helping other music producers leverage the internet specifically to land more clients and further their careers. So that's what I help them do.
Awesome. And you've been following Taylor and Chris actually for a while, right?
Probably a year and a half.
A year and a half. Okay. Awesome.
Yep.
Cool. Because I remember our strategy session, and you'd actually talked with us in the past. It wasn't the right timing, and if I remember correctly, you actually used some of like the training that Taylor and Chris would just put out in order to grow your business, and then you got to a point where it was like, hey, the timing's right. Let's get this thing rolling. Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. So I'd had a call about a year ago, and just I wasn't in the middle space, right? I was being a wimp. And one of the other businesses I had was really controlling me, and I'd wanted to move into consulting because I just really have a passion for it, and kept making excuses, and finally was like, okay, man, I really want to go for this. So that a year later, I just started applying kind of the free stuff that I got from Taylor and Chris, and built a pretty healthy company. Didn't do it 100% right, but pretty healthy, just off their free stuff, looking at their other clients, of course, trying to figure out what everyone is doing. And I kind of proved it to myself and said, well, now I have no excuse. I mean, I've got this far with their free stuff. I mean, why not take it further?
Come on. I love that.
Exactly,
How long have you been in ClientKit now?
That's a good question. I haven't been keeping count, just been going. Maybe 3 weeks.
I think I think you're between 3 and 4 weeks, right?
Yeah, something like that.
That's when we had our call. It was about 3.5 weeks ago.
Okay. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So what's changed in the business? Give us what's the pre-business before CK, and then, now that you're 3.5 weeks in.
Absolutely. So, before CK, I was able to get some clients, but I was in the mindset of, oh, well, these are other creators like me. They're not going to have money. And I was able to sign up a lot and help them, but at a very low rate. So within CK, pretty much tripled my original rate. I don't know if you want me to give you exact numbers, I can, but I tripled the rate. And another big thing is my offer was kind of off, I was running some Facebook ads, doing some webinar, again, doing as much as I could on my own, just trying to figure it out based off of people's free stuff. But man, just like coming in and making like 2 or 3 small tweaks. Now I like my Facebook ads performing, the webinars performing. I wasn't quite sure. Are there even enough? Here's what my biggest worry was. Are there even enough of my ideal client out there? That was my number one worry that held me back from, committing. And then I had my first call with Alex, I believe, and he was like, man, you only need like 100 solid clients, to really build a big business. And I was like, do you think and he asked me, do you think there's at least 100 of your ideal client out there? I'm like, yeah, probably in Los Angeles, there's 100 of them. So that really changed my mindset. And I really started not being afraid of focusing on the ideal client I wanted, which was producers a little farther down their journey, versus the very beginners. Cause so that's, yeah, man, it's been awesome. It's been awesome. I paid my investment back, I think like week 2, probably, just by increasing the rate. So can't complain.
It's hard to complain there, man, isn't it?
Yeah. Wish I had something bad to say, but I don't.
Okay.
So,
Okay. No,
yeah.
that's fine. That's fine. I want to know in that like 2 week span, because dude, we have so much time still left with you, and we're gonna keep making tweaks and just keep scaling what we're building with you right now. But do you feel like there's any one particular struggle, or even if it was maybe a mental roadblock that you really had to, you found yourself like facing, you had to get over throughout the process? Does that make sense?
Before or during CK? Okay. So before, I feel like it was getting the rate up. I was just like, oh, there's no way someone would pay that much, And then that changed right when I got into CK, because Alex just was like, dude, like the numbers just don't work. Like for what you want to do, let's break it down. The numbers don't work, man. Like you have to charge this much. I was like, well, there's that. Right now, and then the next one was kind of just figuring out, okay, great, I can charge a lot. Are there enough of these ideal clients out there? Those were the two kind of big ones. And then moving on into the next, 6 weeks or so that I have, I think my focus will be, client fulfillment, making sure that, what do I do with the clients when they're doing great, and what's the next step for them? So I'm excited to continue.
That's awesome. What I guess because you've seen our tank page. I mean, we have a lot of testimonies. We've got a lot of videos and case studies, and we even have a couple of clients they're really passionate about music. They're in the music industry too. I guess what would you say to someone that's maybe watching your video right now on our tank page? Maybe they're in the music industry, or they're just a coach and they have that same fear, like, I don't know if enough of my ideal clients are out there. What advice would you give them?
Man, okay, it's funny you brought that up. So one of the biggest holdups the first time when I had a call with y'all and I didn't move forward, was that I had this excuse in my head of like, well, I'm in a creative industry. We're working with like artists, so it's different, And then there were like two clients y'all had on the tank page that made me feel better. One that I think works with actors and actresses, and then another that works in songwriting with songwriters, both kind of similar. And then now I'm in the program, and there's a guy that works with graphic designers, so kind of similar to what I do. So advice I would have to people is as much as we love to be, think we're unique and special as humans, it doesn't really matter what the industry is. It's easy for us to say, oh, well, my situation is different, and it's not. It's not at all. So.
Dude, that's good. That's really good. Everyone, there's like 7 billion people in the world. Like, come on. You got plenty of clients out there. It's not going to be a different situation for you. I like that. That's great. Dude, well, like, I mean, that's amazing. And we're really excited to continue working with you and scaling things up. You have any last minute advice or any words of wisdom for anyone watching this before we sign off?
I think the toughest part about any of this stuff is I think what gets most people tripped up is the investment, right? Like, and it's typically not because we don't believe in the coach or the consultant, it's that we don't believe in ourselves. Are we going to be able to make it back? And, I know like we could have probably split it into some payments and stuff. And we talked about, I was like, let's just do it, and that was a big, good chunk of money for me at the time. Now I look at it like kind of chump change, but at the time it was a big chunk. And I think a lot of people that are on the fence are experiencing that. But man, just like the instant switch that happens when you do it, it's just like, I went into this kind of animal mode. I see it with my clients too. The ones that were that didn't invest a lot of money in the beginning, they've kind of disappeared, honestly. And the ones that have made the investment, not into me, but into themselves, which is what I did when I, signed up with you guys. I invested into me. It flips the switch, and it's pretty special. I'd never really felt that before. So my advice is to not let that part worry you. It can be tough to cut a check of that size if you're not used to it, but you immediately just become a different person. You go into fight mode, and it's awesome.